The new season of Married at First Sight UK hasn't even started yet, but we're already getting juicy drama. Bailey, one of the grooms for 2025, is about to become the most talked about contestant before anyone even sees him walk down the aisle. Sources close to him have spilled some serious tea about his past relationship, and it's not your typical breakup story. Bailey was in an open relationship with his ex-fiancée, which means they were both allowed to hook up with other people while they were together. But here's where it gets messy. Bailey apparently broke some of their relationship rules along the way. Now he's going to talk about it all on camera, and people are already wondering what his new TV bride is going to think. This could be the first time MAFS UK has dealt with someone who has open relationship experience, and it's already causing a stir before the show even airs. Let's break down what actually happened in Bailey's past relationship, because this isn't just a simple case of cheating. According to sources who know both Bailey and his ex-fiancée, they had what's called an open relationship. This means they both agreed that it was okay to be with other people while they were still together. It sounds complicated, and honestly, it kind of is. They had specific rules about how this would work, like most couples in open relationships do. Maybe they could only hook up with certain people, or maybe they had to tell each other about it first. We don't know all the details yet, but what we do know is that Bailey didn't always stick to whatever rules they had set up. The source said Bailey broke some of these rules during their relationship, which obviously caused problems. But here's the thing. Bailey isn't trying to hide from what he did. He's apparently taking full responsibility for his mistakes and is going to be completely open about it on the show. The source said he openly talks about his mistakes and what he learned from them. His ex-fiancée and him are still friends, which is pretty mature considering how messy things could have gotten. What's really interesting is when this information is coming out. The show is pre-recorded, which means Bailey has already been through the whole MAFS experience. He's already met his bride, gone through the experiment, and either made it work or crashed and burned. But we won't know any of that until the show airs this Sunday. Someone close to Bailey and his ex decided to talk to the tabloids right before the show starts. This could be Bailey himself trying to get ahead of the story, or it could be someone else stirring up drama. Either way, it's smart timing, because it gets people talking about the show before it even begins. The source made it clear that all of this will be revealed on the upcoming series, so Bailey obviously doesn't try to hide his past from the cameras or from his new wife. This suggests he's learned from his mistakes and wants to be honest about who he is. This is actually pretty groundbreaking for Married at First Sight UK. The show has always been about traditional marriage and finding your one true love. The experts match people based on compatibility and the idea that they'll be monogamous partners for life. But Bailey brings a completely different perspective to the table. He's someone who has experience with non-monogamous relationships, which is becoming more common in modern dating, but isn't something the show has really dealt with before. The big question is how the MAFS experts will handle this. Will they see his open relationship experience as a red flag? Or will they think it shows he's honest about his needs and boundaries? And what about his new bride? She signed up thinking she'd be matched with someone who believes in traditional marriage. But now, she's going to find out her husband has a very different relationship history. Some people might think Bailey's past makes him a bad match for the show, but others might appreciate his honesty and willingness to talk about difficult topics. Even though the show hasn't aired yet, people are already having strong reactions to this news. Some fans think it's refreshing to have someone on MAFS who's willing to be completely honest about their past, even when it's complicated. They see Bailey as someone who's learned from his mistakes and is ready to try something different. But other viewers are already questioning whether someone with open relationship experience should be on a show about traditional marriage. They think it goes against everything MAFS stands for. The truth is, we won't really know how this plays out until we see Bailey in action. Will he want to explore an open relationship with his MAFS bride, Or is he ready to commit to monogamy? His willingness to talk about his past suggests he's done some serious thinking about what he wants in a relationship. The fact that he and his ex are still friends also shows he can handle relationship conflicts maturely. Imagine being matched with someone on MAFS and then finding out they used to be in an open relationship. That's got to be a shock, especially when you're expecting to build a traditional marriage. Bailey's new wife is going to have to process this information while also trying to figure out if she can trust him and build a future together. Some people might see his past as a deal breaker, thinking he's not capable of being faithful to one person. But others might appreciate his honesty and see it as a sign that he's serious about making their marriage work. The key will be how Bailey explains his past and what he's learned from it. If he can show that he's grown from his mistakes and is ready to commit to monogamy, his bride might be willing to give him a chance. But if she feels like he's not being completely honest, or if she thinks he might want an open marriage, it could cause serious problems. Bailey's story brings up some interesting questions about modern relationships and what marriage means in 2025. Open relationships are becoming more common, especially among younger people who want to explore different ways of being together. Some people think monogamy is outdated and that couples should be free to define their own rules. Others believe that marriage should be between two people who are completely committed to each other and no one else. MAFS has always promoted the traditional view of marriage, but Bailey's presence on the show forces everyone to think about whether there's room for different approaches. Maybe his experience with an open relationship will actually help him appreciate monogamy more. Or maybe it will show that the traditional MAFS format needs to evolve with the times. Either way, his story is going to spark a lot of conversations about what commitment really means. Bailey is already shaping up to be one of the most controversial contestants in MAFS UK history, and we haven't even seen him on screen yet. When the show starts this Sunday, all eyes will be on him to see how he handles talking about his past and whether his new bride can accept it. The producers are probably thrilled because this kind of drama is exactly what gets people watching and talking about the show. Bailey's honesty about his mistakes could make him a fan favourite, or it could make viewers think he's not ready for marriage. The real test will be whether he can prove that he's learned from his past and is ready to commit to one person. His openness suggests he might have a better chance than contestants who hide their flaws. So what do you think? Should someone with open relationship experience be on MAFS? Can Bailey prove he's ready for marriage? Will his past help or hurt?